Hello and welcome to Audi Galway, where our 2020 sales event is in full swing. Today we're previewing the all-new Audi Q3 Sportback, and to do that we've invited a special guest along. Now I've been told I might need a helmet, so come and join me. Hey Joe, how are you?
Well, how's the story, Padraig? How are you?
Good to see you.
Keeping well?
Good.
We go?
We'll head for a spin.
Yeah.
So welcome Joe, thanks for coming in today.
Cheers, Mark.
We're here test driving the new Q3 Sportback from Audi, and delighted to be in the company of our brand ambassador Joe Canning. So Joe, on the lead up to Christmas, what are Joe Canning's plans for Christmas?
I suppose it's gearing up with work and stuff like that. I've a good bit on with work and then with training and stuff. It's kind of our busiest time of the year, I suppose, Corey. With pre-season, we're training I think 6 nights a week at the moment, but I think we're finished around the 21st or 22nd, so we kind of get a week off around Christmas, and then it's just get home with the family. I've a big enough family. I think there's 29 or something of us all together between nephews and nieces and everything. And
so Santi will be busy.
Santi's busy, and we got a surprise there the other day. Jack is home as well from Australia.
Excellent.
We spent a year out there, so he's home. So we'll all be at home for Christmas this year, which is going to be good.
Very good. So tell me, Joe, what would the first memories of the Audi brand be for you?
My first memories, I suppose, when I was under 10, we had a coach in Portumna, and he had an Audi, I think it was an Audi 100 car back then, and we used to go to the games with him and stuff like that, and he was probably the guy. He was a butcher in town as well, and he was I think one of the only guys around Portumna that had an Audi at the time. So
Very good.
that was back in the mid 90s, I suppose, early 90s, when I was probably 7 or 8 years of age. So that was my first memory, I think, of an Audi.
Very good. So his claim to fame was his Audi 100, and his claim to fame today is Joe Canning.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. So tell me, Joe, who would your ideal passenger be?
Apart from yourself, obviously, today. Probably Ronan O'Gara. To be honest, he was always a hero of mine growing up, and he still is my probably sporting hero. So for him, I'd love to pick his brains about a few things and just chat to him in general. So he'd be probably my ideal car date in a way. But I'd love to get to know him a bit better. Yeah.
You've just disappointed all the women in the country, Joe, with that answer.
I know, but I have to keep my powder dry as well, don't I?
Well, we've had some great moments with Ronan over the years, so I'm sure you'll meet up at some stage to compare notes.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me the dream car, Joe, outside of the Q3 Sportback that we're in at the moment.
I think I drove the e-tron there the new Audi e-tron a couple of weeks ago, and I found that class. I thought that was deadly. So if I could get into that eventually sometime, it'd be cool. But yeah, something like the e-tron is obviously something that and the way things are going now, obviously with electric cars and stuff like that. It's something for the future. So hopefully one day I get to drive that a bit longer than the few minutes I spent in it a few weeks ago. Well,
we've plenty more electric models coming down the road at us in the coming 12 months. So there'll be plenty of choice to choose from.
Yeah.
So what do you hope never changes, Joe? Be it socially or sporting wise?
I suppose sporting wise, I think me playing GAA, I think the whole amateur ethos in the GAA, I think that's there's been a lot of debate obviously over the past number of years about whether we go professional or not, or pay for play, but to me it's all about kind of community and playing for your own town, your own village, especially at club level, and then representing your own county. And if you get into professionalism in the GAA, you're going to mess up that with transfers and guys going from different towns and villages to play with whoever probably has the most money. And for me, that'd be very important that we try and keep that amateur ethos in the GAA as long as possible. And I suppose that's one thing for me anyway.
Greatest sporting memories over the years, Joe? I know that probably puts you in a difficult position with both club and county, but
Yeah.
sure there's been a few highlights. Well,
Yeah.
I won't ask you to pin it to one, but I'm sure there's been some great ones.
Yeah, there's been a few. I've been lucky enough, I suppose, to be involved with a couple of special days with the club, and then relatively lately with the county. But I suppose for me, the club All Irelands were pretty special, especially our first one back in 2006, and to play with your brothers and your family, and have everybody there in the stand, I suppose, as supporters that I knew and grew up with. That was pretty special, and obviously winning the All Ireland with Galway in 2017 was, in a county sense, was one of the special days as well.
Yeah, hard to repeat.
Yeah, very hard to repeat, especially first time. When you're trying to win it for so long, and eventually you get over the line, it's always hard to get that feeling, but hopefully we'll get something like that again.
Very good. And you've been on your travels a bit this year, Joe. I know you were abroad in Japan at one stage. But tell me, where would you consider to be the most interesting place that you've travelled to?
Yeah, I had a bit more time in my hands, I suppose, this summer. It seems we were knocked out, unfortunately, early on in the year. So I went to Mexico and Japan as well. So, but definitely, I think actually Japan. Now, we went for the Rugby World Cup and we had a bit of crack with a few of the lads and stuff like that, so enjoyed ourselves. But I think definitely it's a place that I'd love to go back to again. And if you were to ask me could I go anywhere in the morning, it'd be definitely Japan, to be honest. I found the country brilliant, and I'd love to travel around it a bit more. So yeah, Japan for me would be some place I'd love to go back to in the near future.
So you can't see them taking up hurling anytime soon in Japan?
No, I don't think so yet, but you never know, they could be.
Very good. So tell me, Joe, New Year's resolutions, anything that jumps off the page at you for 2020?
I don't really make too many resolutions during the year, but I suppose just to wishes, I suppose, is just to stay fit and healthy this year. Unfortunately, I got injured last year, especially with the hurling, so and missed quite a large chunk of the year. So for me, just to see everybody healthy and fit, and family and myself, and just hopefully have a nice year to remember in 2020.
Excellent, very, very good, very good. So Joe, finally, your experience of Audi to date, any particular model that stands out for you?
I've been lucky enough, I suppose, from yourself more so than anything, from all the guys in Connolly's, that you've looked after me very well, and I suppose probably one of the nicest cars I've driven is apart from this one, is probably the new Audi A6. I think it's a lovely car, and especially with the new dash and stuff like that, it's the technology is unbelievable, and it's just very comfortable. But yeah, any car I suppose I get, Audi's a good brand, so I feel very comfortable in any car I get to drive. So I've been lucky enough to drive some of the nicest ones.
Very good. Well, listen, we're delighted and proud to have you as part of our association and brand ambassador, Joe. So listen, thanks very much for coming in today, and safe travelling and a very happy Christmas.
Cheers, you too, Paul.
Thanks, Joe.
Cheers.